Houston to Kansas to Chicago.
What's good?
Hip hop and R&B.
All day. Chicago 77.3.
Yeah. My name is Darrell Mccollough, and I'm rocking with DJ Malone.
Yeah, it is.
Turn your speakers up.
Hey, man.
This is Chicago 77.3.
Right now.
Get in tune.
It's the one and only DJ Malone. How you guys doing, man? Chicago 77.3, the best place to be at on any day, really. How you guys doing out there, man? I'm doing good, man. I'm here. I'm chilling. I'm just having a good day today, man. I'm not really into a lot of things, but I want you guys to get into this one person that I really think is pretty dope, man. I like his style. I like his swag, his personality. I like the cat, man. He's cool. So, with all that being said, man, he has a lot of things in store, and some of you guys really need to, not some, all, really need to get in tune, man. So let's go ahead and bring him in. Dale, what's going on? How you feeling, man?
Oh, man, I'm feeling good, man, out here on the West Coast, man. What's going on with you?
Man, I'm good, man, and how is favor, man? How you doing?
Oh, man, same over here, man. You know, just enjoying this hot weather, man, out here in Cali. That's it.
I hear that, man. Well, welcome, man. I appreciate you being on here.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Now, you do a plethora of things, correct? Now, I'm understanding that you got a book going on. You got a couple other projects you're working out. We're going to get into all that, but I want to get into who Darrell is first. You know, I want my listeners to get to know about you. So let's go into a time machine real quick. Who are you and how did this get started?
Really, you know what I mean? It really got started, man, back in the Walmart parking lot, me selling DVDs, man. It started with, you know, me, you know, growing up with not a lot of means, you know, not really being able to, you know, have access to the American dream, man, like, to be honest with you. Yeah. That's how it started, man. Okay. So, like, go ahead.
Okay, I can relate to that, man. I definitely can.
Yeah. So like I was saying, you know, it started off selling DVDs, man, and then next thing you know, it started off with me printing up shirts because I'm from a city called Stockton, California. We're like about an hour and a half away from San Francisco, Bay Area, and so like we way out here in the sticks. And I remember growing up, and I would print out a whole bunch of shirts. You say if Snoop Dogg was coming or somebody else was coming, I'd print out a lot of shirts, and then I would be that kid out there, driving out there, selling the shirts, right, and like making a profit. Like that mindset has always been with me. Like I've been that kid that, you know, and we all know that kid in the neighborhood that would be pushing that lawnmower down the street, trying to get some money, you know, and be, you know, that's just who I am, man, you know?
Real.
Hustler.
So,
yeah.
So at a young age, you had an entrepreneurial mindset.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what's up. When did you know that, hey, yo, like, I got something here. I kind of got the gift of gab. I know how to work a crowd. I'm a hustler at heart. When did you know that about you?
I knew it early on. I knew because, like, my brother, my younger brother, because I'm the oldest of 8. So my brother Antoine, he was the boxer. I had my other brother who was doing, you know, he was like in law enforcement. So like everybody had their thing, and I didn't really have a thing. I'm the oldest, struggling, trying to find my thing. And then it came to me one day. I'm living at my mom's house. You know what I mean? I'm broke. You know, I'm smoking weed every day. I'm drinking. I'm doing all the things that a lost person, you know, might do. You know, and I realized it's my intellect and it's my ability to be able to communicate. And like either I was going to hone that and become something, or I wasn't going to hone that and never be anything. You know, so I knew then that it would be my ability to communicate, right, that would take me to the next level. Now, I thought it was just a verbal piece, but I didn't realize, like, my written communication is just as strong as my verbal, you know. So being able to, like, write ad copy and do all that stuff became relevant as I moved forward in business.
So now, and all this is self-taught. Did you go to school, or I mean? But I know you went to high school and everything. But was there anything past high school, college, anything like that?
Right. So I go to high school to about the 11th grade. I drop out, and then I ended up getting pushed into back into college. I get an associate's degree. Like school really good because now I'm starting to shine intellectually, and the next, I go for a BA, and I'm in my master's program, and then it was for marriage family therapy, and then I had turned to somebody and said, hey, how much money we gonna make at the end of this, right? And they were like, man, you made like $60,000-$70,000 a year, and for me, I didn't want to do it. Like, not that I didn't love helping people. I knew that I could carve out my own avenue and be able to win. That I could build my own table and be able to help people. You know what I mean? And so, like, that's what I started to do.
So you and that's a beautiful thing, man, because you knew your worth. You knew, hey, yo, there's something more to this. I know that I can be more greater than what, or not even greater, but just I know that I can make more than this what they're giving me. Right.
And so I came to this conclusion that they're only going to give you scraps off their table. They're only going to give you the scraps off their table, man. Either you're going to build your own or you got to deal with the scraps.
What's up, man? That's what's up. So Now, as far as your book, do you talk about like steps on how you go into entrepreneurship, how to recognize it, everything?
Yeah. So the multiple stream mindset, right? It's talking about how, if you don't have it, most of us are born with it. The ones that aren't, I believe they can be able to cultivate it, the book is about that. It is about cultivating the multiple mindset, to be able to look at things from a standpoint of not just to get a single family home, but how do we go ahead and start that sober living, and then essentially that becomes multiple streams of multiple streams of income for you. Or maybe you get a van or you get a car, and maybe you can rent that out on Turo, and maybe you get two cars. Maybe one is a luxury car, maybe one is a van like myself, and you're renting those out, and you're starting to bring in streams of income. Like the American scheme is for us to go ahead to get the single family home. If you ask me, to get the single family home, figure out a way to be able to pay for it, right? Which a lot of us are really barely making it, those in the middle class, you know what I mean? So, like, it's really about taking it to the next level, if you ask me, right?
So whenever we talk about, and it's, I think we all have a entrepreneurship type of bug into us, but I feel like some of us have to activate it more than others. What would be some steps that you feel like that a person can start doing, like, today? And it's like, okay, well, I'm a person that's not. I would say, let's give an example. I'm a person who's trying to make multiple streams of income, but I have hold on one second. I'm sorry, man. This went out. I have basically what's the word I'm looking for? I have a basic mindset. I have a job, and I'm trying to figure out how do I make multiple streams with having a job.
With having a job. So for me, it came out of necessity, right? So, like, where I worked at, I had a bachelor's, right? And I I always talk about this, and it's actually chapter 1 of my book, $5 on pump 4, please, right? So, like, it was about the one day where, you know what I mean, I'm broke, and I'm like, you know what, I got to scrap up all this change to be able to put $5 on pump 4. And I really can't even look the lady at the Chevron gas station in the eye because I'm putting $5 on pump 4. You know what I mean? So it was based on a necessity, right? I didn't have any choice. I love what Jay-Z said. He said, I would have died had I remained the same me. And in the same instance, I would have never, ever been who I am now had I not changed. And I don't know if that makes sense, boss, but it was born out of necessity. And I think a lot of people, they're so busy fronting, and not so much fronting, but we drinking these Starbucks, you know, we doing all this stuff. We doing enough to front to be able to say I'm okay, but in reality, you really ain't at the level that you could be at because of that, like that freaking like lifestyle that's comfortable. Is that making sense? That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
That's what I really
get what you're saying.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. I think also too, I think some people are scared of the change. Some people are scared because they feel like, okay, well, I don't want to take that leap of faith because this is what's normal to me. So, like, for instance, I get a paycheck every Friday, and that's a guaranteed. No matter if I, whether I go to, of course you gotta go to work, but whether I do a good job or a bad job, or at least a good enough job to where it keeps me there, I will always remain having a paycheck at this amount. Some people are not used to having to say, well, I gotta go out and go get it.
Exactly. I love that you bring that up, man, because at the end of the day, this thing really goes back to biblical principle of you got to step out on faith, man, or otherwise you're going to be like everybody else that we know. And I was tired of I was coming from a generation of good people who never stepped into their greatness because they had found or they had carved their own little groove, but it was a life of mere existence, and I was looking for something different, man. Like, it wasn't enough for me, man. It wasn't enough, man. It wasn't. And it wasn't based on greed. It was based on, like, I wanted my slice of the American pie. Like, I deserved it. You know what I mean? And I started cultivating my mind to a white hot, like, frenzy of, like, I'm better than what I done came from, and I'm better than the crumbs that they want to feed me. You know what I mean? I was cool with that. I didn't want it.
Well, I mean, I think what you're saying is got some value to it. I think with anybody who starts a business, you really kind of have to really go on faith and everything. But also, I feel like it has to be somewhat of a lifestyle in a sense. You really have to really sleep, think, and breathe about your business. I give a perfect example about my DJing business. Is that this is my baby. Nobody's gonna come in here and mess that up because I built it so much to where it's on a good foundation. And a lot of people don't. And I'm just gonna be honest, man. I feel like a lot of people are lazy, or they rather go with the easier route with just saying, hey, I'd much rather just deal with this 9 to 5 here versus to having my own situation. And my thing is, it's cool, and I get it, it's cool to go down and, make sure that you're good and, make sure you're financially stable. But when you're talking about generational wealth, you can't pass down if you work at McDonald's. You can't pass that down.
Nope.
You can pass down your business to your kids, your wife, whoever. You can definitely pass that down, and as years go by, it builds in equity.
Agreed, man. Agreed. I think at the end of the day, going back to what you said, it's based on the idea Part of it is fear, right? False evidence appearing real, right? Part of it is the idea that what happens if I do become successful in business, right? How much of this lifestyle that they're currently in would have to change? And to me, it was a challenge. Me building multiple streams of income was based on the fact that I realized at one time, at some point in the future, I'm not going to be able to be here, right? Like me coming face to face with death, I responded or reacted to, hey, I'm going to go and do all that I can. Some people respond to death and be like, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do, right? It's easy to lay down, right? I responded to it with like, you know what? At some point, I'm not going to be here. Let's go all the way in. Let's run it all the way in. Let's just see what happens. That was my true. That was a true turning point too. There were multiple turning points, but that was a big one for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Okay. So now, you know, we're putting this into the book and everything else like that. What would be one of the first challenges that you dealing with writing the book and everything?
It was me getting a hold of the experience, right? I've always wanted to write a book. I ain't had no experience really. I mean, I have had experience on, you know, how to roll a blunt. I had experience on, you know, how to do some of the other stuff that was going on. But to really be able to garner this experience of starting multiple streams of income and then go ahead. Now I'm thinking in hindsight of how did I actually start this business up, right? Or this business and this business, and we'll get into the multiple businesses, right? And then just talking to my phone about it, picking up my phone, man, getting into my notes on my iPhone, you know what I mean? Hitting press and play, and then just speaking into my phone and talking about the experience. That was it. And then utilizing, right, the fact that I was a really good communicator, you know, especially on paper. That was it.
Real.
That was one of the biggest barriers, getting that experience. And then realizing, hey, man, I can jot this down, put this into a course like I've done, or into a book, and to be able to help somebody else come through.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Now, as far as distribution, where's the book out right now? How can the people get it? What's going on?
Right. So as we're speaking right now, the book is completed and it's getting put on Amazon just right now to get it going. Right. And so that's the reason why I'm doing it. I'm doing this to get some support from the California community that I currently have, and out there in Texas, and then out here in Chicago. I'm actually doing another podcast in New York. So I'm just shaking and moving right now, man. I'm shaking and moving.
Okay, you're spreading the word on it. So let me ask you this, and I know my fans are probably going to ask this. What are the streams of income are you bringing in right now? I ain't trying to be in your business or anything, but what are you?
No, good.
What occupations are you bringing in, and what are you doing?
So first of all, I quit the job at the county as a mental health specialist too, because I had got the bachelor's. I'm using that bachelor's, right? Boom, boom, boom. So I landed that job, and then something tells me, you know what? It's time to look for something else. I went on the internet and found how to fix credit, right? So I went in there, right, and I started fixing credit for people, helping people out. It was the first time I had ever seen a stream of $15,000 coming in a month. I was like, man, I ain't never even seen this before. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm doing this, and then I got this money coming in, and then next thing you know, from the credit repair business, I started up a transitional living with a guy named Anthony Wooford, right? He was a real estate agent at the time. Still is. And essentially, I go ahead, I partner with him, and then I open up Sober Living. And it was 20 beds that I got approved for because it was a 7-bedroom house. So I got approved through a contractor for $1,700 per bed, and there was 20 beds. So I started bringing in $34,000 a month. That was just one. And then next thing you know, I opened up a second one. Then I opened up a third one. Now we're opening up a fourth one, right? And I started helping everybody in my community out here in Stockton open up sober livings, right? And I'm doing this and money rolling. I ain't never seen money like this, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, I grew up, man, where we used freaking dishwashing liquid for like soap, like bubble bath. That was it. We didn't have no real Mr. Bubbles. You know what I'm saying? And so I had never rolled this hard with money before. You know what I mean? That's another whole book that really needs to be, how do you maintain spiritually when you start making this type of money? You know what I mean? How do you handle that? You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm doing that. I'm helping everybody in my community start sober livings and all this type of stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then from there, I went and I got my real estate license. You know what I mean? Because California Credit Hero, which is the name of my credit repair business, it was still rolling. It's still rolling. So, and I'm helping people fix their credit, and then they run off to real estate agents and get their credit fixed. I said, and like buy a house. I was like, I should go ahead and just do real estate. So I did real estate. Then I went in and I went back and I got my loan officer. So my mortgage loan originator license. I did that. Got that. Started getting people loans. Started empowering the hood. Started really helping people. Right? And then I started up startasoberliving.com. And startasoberliving.com helped people start their own sober living company. Because I was a real estate agent, and I'm seeing all these people that got these duplexes, and they think they doing something because they getting $1,500 for one side of a duplex and $1,500 for the other side of the duplex. I said, man, stop playing with me. I said, if they knew what I knew, you will be rolling right now. $1,500 on one side of a duplex. Man, I'll get you $1,500 per bed. Stop playing with me, right? And so, like, that was, I knew I had something. See what I'm saying? And you know when you have something. And so I went and I really started pushing the multiple stream mindset, and I really started pushing startasoberliving.com, man. You know, where we help people start their own sober livings and win on vacant properties, or I teach people, you know, how to be able to start them up, you know. And then, so that's pretty much what I do. Plus, I have a nonprofit called Change Point Inc., where we just go out, we just help people, we feed people, we talk about, just, man, all of that stuff, man. Yeah.
So
now, man, I'm sorry, man, I'm talking a lot.
No, you good, man, you good. Now, let me ask you this, and I'm very big on this. So, and this is like kind of like a deep question, if I can ask this. Do you think any of that would happen if you would have never went back and fixed the credit?
It wouldn't. None of that wouldn't have happened if I didn't fix my credit. None of that would have happened. None of that would have happened because credit is the basis of success. Like a couple months ago, I got a $50,000 American Express. Like, I had started getting my credit up and all that type of stuff, and there'd be times I'd try to go for American Express, and I got like a 770, 780. They were like, nah, we cool. But the moment I applied for the business credit, I was able to get that $50,000 American Express. That was like a game changer for me, man. I was like, What? And with American Express, like, you got to type in like 20,000, and then the green check would come in and be like, yeah, you can cover that charge. And then I typed in 40,000, and like, yeah, you can cover that charge. And I typed in 50,000, and they said, yeah, you can cover that charge. I was like, my God, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think that was even possible coming from where I'm coming from. That's insane.
Real.
Insane.
Well, I say that because and a lot of people think now in today, and especially now, it mind boggles me. money can get you everything. And I will, and on some note, I will agree, money can get you into a lot of doors. But credit can also is the foundation of everything kind of in my head, is because with credit it tells companies and businesses and banks, yo, this person is good for this type of money. And you know, we don't go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I guess like we're not taught, and you know, especially from, you know, where me and you come from, we're not taught those things. You know what I'm saying? We're not taught at 18 we go ahead and get a phone bill in our name. We don't pay we fuck it off. Then we go get a car and we fuck the car note up. And so by the time we're 35, we have all these these fuck ass. Oh, excuse me, and I'm kind of passionate about this, but we have all these other situations that are charges, delinquencies, all this other stuff. We don't even care until we get to about 30 and 35. By that time, it's almost too late.
Yeah, it's okay. So real quick, when people will be like, God didn't bless me. I got a praise report. God didn't bless me with the new car, right? And then 8 months later, they were in a situation, or they're in a situation where their car is essentially getting repoed, right? This is what it's about. This is what credit is really about. Credit is about you making payments no matter what situation you're in, financially, emotionally, right? Spiritually. You make your payments on time. That's the basis of what credit is. It is the great separator. If we go ahead and give you this mortgage, is this person likely to make the payment on this mortgage? If we give him a boat, a car, whatever, that's what it's really about. It's about whether or not you're going to honor your word and say, hey, I'm going to pay. Credit isn't just with TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Credit is a way of life. And as you move forward in that way of life, I mean, I done ran into investors, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. If you need more money, let me know. I got you there, right? And it's based on the fact of I'm a man of my word, right? If I say I'm going to do it, it's going to get done. If I say I'm going to pay you back, you're going to get your money back with interest. I got 4 investors right now, 4 investors that I'm making stinking rich. We need to pull them up. We need to pull them on this conversation, making them stinking rich right now, right? And so, like, yeah, man, yeah, absolutely. Credit is everything because it's a lifestyle.
That's real, man. That's what's
it's a
up,
lifestyle,
man.
That's what's up. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
I know we got the book, and we just talked about that. What other ventures do you have right now? Because I know we're coming down to nitty gritty, but I want everybody to get to know everything that you do. So give us everything, man. So
essentially, we got the. I want to go back to the course with StarterSoberLiving.com. So essentially, this helps people start sober livings, right? So I got like a blueprint you can be able to go ahead and do it yourself. But I knew I would be working with a lot of real estate investors or future real estate investors, right? So some people, they're going to come to me and say, Darrell, help me to be able to buy a home that is specific for the niche that you work in, which is helping people create sober livings, and then help me start your sober living in that home that I just purchased. Some people will be like, Darrell, I love the idea, the concept is dope, but the truth of the matter is I got the money, I don't got the time. Perfect, right? Because I created a sober living management company where you invest the money, we do the work, and you pay us a little residual amount of money every month. and then you go ahead and you still get to be able to benefit from it. You know, it's a lot more capital up front, but the idea is people got the capital at that level, they just don't got the time. And I can identify with that, but I got a lot of people in place. I got like 5 or 6 employees. Plus, we got the VRs or the VAs, which is the virtual assistants. So we can be able to push this, you know, coast to coast. And that's the reason why I really want to get on the podcast, too. I was so happy is because I can be able to explain it to your fan base. Hey, this is what's happening. Partner with Darrell. If you're a real estate agent, hit me up, 209-403-8209. You can hit me up at startersoberliving@gmail.com. You know what I mean? So that you can be able to benefit or have your clients benefit from this. Because think about this real quick. We are turning residential single-family homes essentially into apartment complexes. Think about that. I used to always want to get a 4-plex, thinking like that was the shit. Let me get a 4-plex or a 5-plex. I remember going live, heck of times, talking about, yeah, man, go get a single to go get a 4-plex or a 3-plex or whatever, triplex. Nah, go get you a big single family home and go get complex money. That's what you do, because it's easier to do it that way. You know what I mean? Think about it, man. So that Starter Sober Living got 3 tiers. That's the beauty of it. That's why we running this coast to coast. You know what I mean? And then outside of that, really, that's really where I kind of want to stay in my wheelhouse, man. I am associated with Time Done, which is a national, it's like an organization, guy named Jay Jordan, and essentially it's for people that were formerly incarcerated who really want to move back into society and really start making some changes in their life, because the people in my transitional livings, a lot of them just serve time, and it's like time done. They want to move on with their life, man. So the people in my transitional living, if you want to come out here, if you're on the West Coast and you're hearing this, you know, you can go to ChangePoint. ChangePointHomes.org, and then you can be able to come into our sober livers. Man, we fix their credit for free, man. We talk about financial empowerment. We talk about starting businesses. We give out micro loans. You know what I mean? We helping the people that come into our sober livings change, man. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Some people start up Christian-based sober living. Some people start up sober livings just for women, just for men, whatever it is. You know, you get a chance to help people. That's what get me off, man. Like, at the end of the day, real life, I'm a socialpreneur. Like, if it ain't about making money and helping, I don't really want to do it.
I like that.
That's just it.
I like that. I like the fact that you're putting out there. You want people to elevate just as much as you did. You know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
that is,
yeah. Because everybody can eat. Everybody can eat if they get off that. Go ahead.
Everybody eats.
Everybody that's on my team eats. Everybody on my team is economically empowered. Everybody on my team, I'm saying you need to start your own sober living. You need to go ahead and start your own multiple stream mindset. Start cultivating that mindset, because it's so hard to break people free from that. Because think about it, even in public school, they're teaching us how to use that social security number, but not that EIN number. Come on, man. They want us using that social security number, right? They don't want us using that EIN number, because that EIN number attached to that is financial freedom. They don't want you doing that. Go ahead, use that social security number, go work in that warehouse because you know you got their felony, so you know you done, or go ahead and do what your dad did, work at the firm, because you all. But if the firm ain't you, I don't do nothing I don't love to do. If I don't love it, I don't do it, because I need to start businesses where I stay up late, where I wake up early, stay up late. That's how you get businesses going. You know how it go, man. It's hard to keep the business going. You got to keep you going. Yeah,
exactly.
Man.
Exactly,
yeah.
man.
All day.
Yeah, man. This been real awesome, man. Talking to you and everything else.
Oh yeah, man. It for sure. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on, man. So just real quick for the people that are looking at this, like, how do they get to your podcast, man?
Oh man, I'm gonna give you the link. But if people want to go check out, I have my own station. If you go type in your phones and into your apps or whatever, go into and play Chicago 77.3. That's a 24/7 app. We play hip hop and R&B with different DJs on there. I own that. So also on Roku, you can get it on the Roku TV. So just look up Chicago 77.3. But this interview, I'm gonna send you the link so that way you can give it to all your people.
Excellent, man. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you having me on, man. It means a lot to me, man. And yeah, brother, love what you're doing over there.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Before we go, man, give it the Facebook and everything where they can find you.
Oh, sure. So you can just go to Darrell Mccollough, Darrell, McCullough, McCollugh. You can also go to Starter Sober Living on just type that in the Instagram. You'll find me. And then yeah, I'm out there, man. Google me. I am definitely out there.
Hey, That's what I'm talking. There, I do appreciate you being on there, man, and everything. I do appreciate you, man.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me on, brother.
Chicago 77.3.
Turn your speakers up. Hey, man. This is Chicago 77.3.
Right now.
Get in tune.